Our normal cure time on the A48 is normally 48 hours before we can get our first coat of waterproofing on, but Carl's gonna fast track it. We're gonna seal the top of the A48 screed with a product called Ardex WPM 300, also known as Hydropoxy 300. Hydropoxy 300 is a water-based epoxy moisture barrier. Now that moisture barrier is gonna suppress the moisture within the A48 screed and allow us to get our first coat of waterproofing on 24 hours sooner than what would normally be for standard A48. We put one coat at 2 square meters per litre coverage. In this case, we need 250 ml of part A, 250 ml of part B, mix that gives us half a litre, and that gives us our 2 square meters per litre coverage. Okay, our A48 screed's been down for about 3 hours now. It's walkable. It can take the Hydropoxy 300 now. Carl's going the extra step of actually sealing all the internal corners of the billboard as well with the Hydropoxy. It's just giving it a really good waterproofing seal to the corners as well. And this is prior to the waterproofing membrane going on. He's spraying the billboard with water, just straight water. That's going to make the Hydropoxy go on a lot easier and soak in a lot more. As you can see, the correct way to install Hydropoxy is to trowel it in place to achieve the coverage. Then we just use a light roll to get rid of any trowel marks and to smooth it out. That way we know we're getting the correct coverage, which in this case is 2 square meters per litre. Now we've got our screed to fall sealed with Hydropoxy 300, also known as Ardex WPM 300. Now this will dry overnight and that'll be ready for our first coat of waterproofing tomorrow morning. So basically Carl saved himself a day in time by installing the Hydropoxy on the screed. Now the next stage is we've got to mechanically prepare the floors prior to the waterproofing system going down. A lot of these floors, when they're handed over to Carl, are badly contaminated, and also the concrete tends to be overworked and non-porous. So it's really important we've got to diamond grind these floors to remove the contamination, and most importantly to open up the porosity so we know we're getting a good bond to the surface. Carl uses tuss blades. Okay, we've got our floors diamond ground and vacuumed. The next stage for Carl is to set out the extent of the waterproofing, ensuring that the waterproofing complies with the New Zealand standard. The priming that we're using is Ardex P51. Now that's a primer concentrate. We've watered this product down 3 parts water to 1 part P51. Now the primer in most cases gets brushed on, but in this case Carl's going to roll it on to get the coverage, and then after he rolls it, he'll brush it to really push it into the pores. This primer controls the porosity. We get much better flow with our waterproofing products over the top and much better workability, and it also binds up any residual dust that could still be around on the job. It's all about doing the job right as per the manufacturer specification, so everything is fully warranted. The first thing we do prior to the waterproofing is to install the Ardex STB reinforcement bandage. That gets adhered to all our internal corners, our wall junctions, the junctions between our fibre cement sheets, and the junction between our screed to fall and the concrete. The Ardex STB tape is a self-adhesive reinforcement bandage that allows for the quick installation of our first coat of waterproofing. We've even put STB tape over our mechanical fixings for the fibre cement board. Ardex have come up with a really brilliant fast track way of detailing our reinforcement bandage over the floor waste using a product called Ardex STA reinforcement tape. Now we're ready for our first coat of waterproofing. The membrane we're using today is Ardex WPM 155, which is a polyurethane acrylic hybrid membrane. It's applied via brush and roller, and the roller is a medium nap roller. We look for a wet film thickness of 0.5 millimeter. Your dry film thickness will be 0.25 millimeters. The dry time of this product in optimal drying conditions is 2 hours, and those optimal drying conditions are 23 degrees Celsius, 50% humidity.